Last week, the Premier received a letter from Sean Haggerty, President of UFCW Local 175. UFCW represents many workers on the front lines of the battle against COVID-19. Workers in grocery stores, pharmacies, meat processing facilities, and healthcare settings. The major companies like Loblaws that employ them call them heroes and raise their pay. However, once the cameras were off, these companies ripped away those pay increases. They made record profits while workers carrying on under the same low-wage conditions. Mr. Speaker, will the Premier stand with the community heroes, these frontline workers, and demand that these highly profitable companies make the pandemic pay increases permanent?
Minister of Labour.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to give...
Members take their seats. Minister of Labour to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the member opposite for this important question. And he is right. All of us in this province owe a debt of gratitude to all of those frontline heroes that have served our families and every single community in this province during the COVID pandemic and beyond. Mr. Speaker, I too want to pay our respects on behalf of Premier Ford and our government to those grocery store clerks, to those frontline healthcare heroes, to those truck drivers, Mr. Speaker, to every single worker, like the 500,000 people in the construction industry that continued to work during this pandemic. Mr. Speaker, as I've said repeatedly in this House, we will spare no expense to ensure the health and safety of every worker in this province is protected, and I'll have more to say in the supplemental.
Supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, again to the Premier, the Weston family is worth $9 billion. They could share that enormous wealth that the workers are creating and putting it in their paychecks as they risk their lives every day in the province of Ontario. The workers of UFCW Local 175 represents were already providing care in a broken system, yet have kept our healthcare system functioning under the stress of a pandemic. These workers watch their patients and co-workers get sick, and in many cases watch them die. Almost 1 in 5 of those workers contacting COVID-19 are healthcare workers. Despite the lack of PPE, respect and pay, these frontline workers have done everything they can to keep those in our healthcare safe from the virus. It is time to do more than just call these workers heroes. It's time to treat them with respect that heroes deserve. Will the Premier and this Labour Minister make substantial permanent pay increases for all healthcare workers across the entire sector, along with presumptive WSIB coverage? Thank you.